activity K2, I think it's K2.2 of Unit Standard 15218, deals with organizational needs analysis. We call it an owner document, as you can see here. Also to try and increase my screen a bit. I hope everyone can see here. Now, an owner document is what I'm going to use to identify the gaps. It's a document that you can prepare to actually interview an employee in an organization to find out, if they meet the requirements for the job. And I think this document can be used for a lot of other things at the same time, for performance appraisal, maybe for recruitment purposes also. So at the top, we just have our basic information there, just to see, who interviewed who, what date, because you as a STF can have many companies, so and these documents can get mixed up. What department it was, maybe who approved it, say the HR manager or the director of the company approved this document, or they looked at it, or HR department. Some instructions here also how to complete it, because many times you want to maybe get other people. So when I go to the shoebox company, I can ask people to do it, on my behalf, or help me to do it. So I just want to tell them, listen, how long they should do. So you do it in the interview, how should you select the people, or any guidance that you have in that. And then here is an example of a completed one. I think this one is done for the receptionist. And I say, from a receptionist, what is the key functions and the roles of as a receptionist? She must work on the sweet spot and as customer service, and must also have computer experience. So that's three things that we identified here as key skills or functions of a receptionist. Now, in the class, I always ask the learners, how long is a piece of string? I don't know. But all I know is to measure a piece of string, you need a starting point and an end point. And the same with this. If you're going to interview someone, you must be able to determine, do we have enough knowledge, or experience or not. And that's what we're going to do here with these two, knowledge and skills. Now, knowledge is maybe any previous workplace experience. You see a previous sweet spot experience with multiple lines, so at least 6 months, on a sweet spot with multiple lines. Or you can say maybe a certificate, the NK5 certificate, or 10 credits, or whatever certificate you want. So when I interview a person, and I'm going to ask him, with sweet sports, how much experience do you have in sweet sport? Then the person is going to tell me, I only have 2 months experience. Then I know, listen, it's not going to help, because we need, for this job, you need a minimum of 6 months experience. Also, if I skip here to the skills priority, we can see a daily, weekly, monthly, yearly. The company can always say this specific skill, sweet spot. I would presume this one will have a tick here with daily, because it's a daily function. So if you don't have 6 months experience and you do this on a daily basis, then it's a big problem. So I've identified a big problem in this company. Maybe if it's a monthly or a yearly, then we can still, top it up later on, or train the person to do it. Then it's maybe not that important. This skills priority, we can also change into maybe say important. One is the most important, the three. Well, you can change it any way that you want to. Attributes, qualities there. They give you, if you want to be a sweet spot operator, what is the key attributes? They say accurate, honest, and flexible. And I don't suggest that you put more than 3 in there, for ideal candidate for this specific position. On this column here, you see the rest of the columns. You can change as you want. You can really change this as you want. And our activity, we ask that you create. We actually give you this one here for the supervisors, a typical supervisor in the shoebox company. And we're going to say there's some functions. They're going to do scheduling and discipline and safety, computer literate and quality assurance. And we give you some guidelines there and previous experience and stuff. So we want you to get 3 candidates, any 3 people. It could be family members or work colleagues, anyone, and they must pretend that they work for the shoebox company. So it's not going to be a joke. We're going to be a bit serious. And we're going to ask that person, put yourself in the shoes of the shoebox company. You're a supervisor there. And imagine, that story about David. And just imagine, how should the supervisor answer it? So you're going to interview 3 different people on this form. They're going to pretend that they're working for the shoebox company as a supervisor, and you're gonna get the craziest responses, because the one gonna tell you, no, I've never been through training. They just put me on this job because I'm always want to work overtime. Or you're gonna get people as overqualified. You're going to get all mixed responses. And here you can see this column we've changed here, and you can put your personal comments over here. So you interview at least 3 people for the supervisor's position in the shoebox company to find out if they meet the minimum requirements. You're going to put your notes here, and when you come back to Durban, and you're going to use these notes to identify training needs in that organization, to actually develop a training plan for the supervisors in the shoebox company based on the interviews that maybe you or someone else has done there.